Let's go. I'm gonna let it chill for a minute and just make sure that you're logged in and the video doesn't cut out.
Now. Yeah.
What's up? Let's go. All right, we ready to go?
Ready.
Locked in?
Yeah.
Let's get down. All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Wednesday, March the 31st, 2021, and I do hope this is the last show we do in here. No disrespect to where we are.
I think it is, because we're going today to start putting stuff together in Queens.
At the house, yeah. So hopefully the next show that we do will be back in our house after 7 months of being displaced by Hurricane Sally. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you have not. We do random giveaways every single show, and that will not change today. So make sure that you subscribe because that is the only requirement.
Hello, guys. George and Jean Schwartz, Yang Hao. I saw Jack Nolte was making a comment earlier.
All right. If you see me continuously get up, our cell phone service and internet service is relatively weak here on this island in which we live. So if we do cut out, if this live stream just stops, hang out for about 5 or 10 minutes, I will restart a part 2. If that does happen, the first person to jump back onto part 2, I will send either $20 to or 2 sets of Wi-Tech strings. So the giveaway for today will be if we cut out the first person to leave a comment, I'm back, then we'll hook you up. All right. As usual, we're going to start out with some shout outs. First shout out for today is the prize giveaway stemming from the last show. So I think it was 3 or 4 days ago. I put some pictures up on one of our posts on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
And I put a picture of a woman holding a trophy. I put a picture of a person hitting a ball. And I took a picture of a stadium. And I asked everyone, who is the player? Who are the players? What year was the tournament? And what tournament was it? So the person that answered that, this was after the show, or not, it was a post. Mm-hmm. But the person that answered it was Jarish, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, Jarish Pusapathy.
Ooh, tough name.
I'm guessing maybe from India, maybe, I don't know. But he guessed it. It was the 2007 U.S. Open, and the young lady that I was right in front of was Justine Henin holding up her trophy. And then the gentleman that was hitting a forehand was Roger Federer. I was there doing some stringing. And I had opportunity to take those pictures. So with that said, Jarish Pasupathy, if you're out there, send us a comment with maybe your email, or you can get ours, and we will send you 2 sets of Wi-Tech strings or $20 US, either one you choose. But you won the giveaway stemming from the last show in between then and now.
Yeah.
Okay. Second shout out goes to Bojan Stojanovic. Welcome to the show, or to the group, by the way. Bojan Stojanovic, I'm guessing maybe Serbian?
I don't know. I think I'm going to change my name.
Let's go.
My maiden name, Carla Morabovic.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Maybe I'll be a beast at tennis, Carla Morabovic.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
If your last name ends in IC, you're a beast tennis player. Ivanovic, give me some more. Kekmanovic, give me some more.
Yankovic, Djokovic.
Yeah, the itches are it. So anyway, on the last show, we had a topic about an extortion scheme that Novak Djokovic was going to be the target of. And we asked everyone on the last show, I wonder who was responsible for coming up with the scheme, per se. Mm-hmm. I guess he watched the show and answered that. So I wanted to give him a shout out for his answer. He said the people that were involved in setting up the scheme were Serbian businessmen with ties to the West. So interesting. Thank you for the answer. The last shout out I have before we get into topic 1, which has to do with another viewer out there, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. Shout out to the Gonzaga Bulldogs. I love playing basketball. I'm not a big fan of watching it, but I'd love to play it. For making it to the Final Four with a perfect 30-0 record.
You think they're watching the show?
Let's go. No, but that's a heck of an achievement.
I want to tag them on that.
All right, the last shout out I have until we get into topic number 1 is to Nathan Mora, your father. Why? Carla was targeted at a tennis club a couple of days ago, and I was really upset about it. And long story short is he listened to me vent for a while, so I know I can get kind of lively and heated sometimes, and he let me vent to him. And we're going to get into what happened to Carla almost immediately. Real quickly, your shout outs real quick, and I'll tell everybody where this is going.
I have several shout outs. First shout out is for a student that started playing tennis with us, I would say about a month and a half to 2. She was taking group lessons with her friend. Her name is Jessica, if she's watching. And she's been taking private lessons. She had a special day yesterday, a date, and she took a private lesson before she went to this date, to try to hit the ball back and forth. I mean, kudos to her, because it's tough to get the ball back and forth after, playing for so little. Unfortunately, it was going great for her. She was hitting the ball back and forth, with the guy that she was with, and she rolled her ankle while we were there. And she got up. She was trying to be strong. She was trying to.
It was a bad roll. Yes. I watched it happen. I saw her come down, and she had running shoes on.
Yes.
And I watched her come down. I mean, I was looking right at them hitting.
Yeah.
And the ankle totally went L-shaped.
She got up. She got up because she was trying to be strong.
Like walk it off.
But
yeah, don't pay attention to what's going on over here. I'm good. But I saw it. I knew it was
kudos to her for being out there and trying her best. She hobbled off, and I hope that you get a quick recovery so we can have you out there on the court again. You're improving so much, and good luck with the date. Good luck with the guy.
Let's go.
Another shout out I have is for Kara.
Oh, Kara Farney.
She played me 2 out of 3 sets yesterday.
Yeah,
it was 2 sets. I won, but I have to say that she came pretty close. She had me 4-1 in the second set, and I played her 100%.
Yeah.
I was running everything, going for everything, and I usually don't do that with any of my students.
Yeah.
Except our kids.
Yeah.
Bravo to her. She's improving. Kara, keep going, because I know that you're going to reach that level. I know that she's going to be a very good player one day.
Yeah, I think most of the young girls that she may know around here will be in for a big shock when they face her in the future.
Unbelievable. I wanted to hug you after that. I mean, bravo to you. Keep working hard. Another shout out is to Dylan. Dylan's been working really hard. He's got a tournament coming up. He's another one of our students. Hope to see you out on the court. You've been a little bit sick, shake it off, get back on that court. And then the Alma Bryan team, they're doing so well. We're about to go to sectionals.
Yeah, Alma Bryan is the high school team that our kids go to, and we assist coaching the team. They've done really well this year.
Yeah.
All right, so the final shout out will lead into topic number 1. And this is a really important topic to us especially. So, we've always said that we started this kind of channel to create a tennis kind of channel or group in which everybody seems to be positive. We can speak freely. We can battle and debate, but in a humble way. So this topic that we're going to start has to do with Pospisil, the gentleman that flipped out on the tennis court during it. I forget, this has been about a week ago. So my shout out must be to Fionski, Fionski 76, Fionski 76. After the last show, there was a comment, and he or she indicated, "Hey, I was hoping that you guys would talk about your feelings about Pospisil flipping out on the tennis court." So I jotted this down, and I told he or she that we would discuss it. But for the past 6 days, we have been so busy coaching. I've been stringing a lot at high school matches. We haven't stopped. And so I jotted this comment down, and for the life of me, I was trying to figure out what writing I was going to do for the topic. I mean, everybody knows about it for the most part.
Right.
But after what happened to Carla on Monday, a light bulb went up in my head, and I started writing. So what I'm going to do real quickly is mention this, and then we're going to get to it in a moment. But on Monday, Carla and I were headed to a club to play our first mixed doubles match together since my injury with my knee, really in the past 10 years, and we were really excited about it. And Carla was targeted, and we're going to talk about what happened and what your thoughts are on that. However, let's start with Pospisil, and we're going to tie in Pospisil's attitude and the ATP's attitude and the friction therein to what happened to Carla on Monday. All right, is everybody ready for this? This is important to us. If you don't want to stick around for it, that's fine, but this is from the heart, and I know it hurt Carla a lot. So if you care about equality, racial indifference, and what happened to her, you'll want to stay tuned for that. All right, so first of all, I want to ask everybody a list of questions. Okay? So Carla has not seen these questions. I wrote them while she was with our pastor's wife this morning. She hasn't seen them, but I want everyone in comments to answer these questions along with Carla. They're only yes or no. So it's either 3 letters or 2 letters. That's it, okay?
Okay.
You ready for these questions?
Yeah.
All right.
Like I'm in jeopardy.
All right. Now, this is a serious thing. I mean, for me, I watched my wife being insulted and trashed and thrown out of a club, so it means a lot to me. Question number 1, Carla and all of you. Is the world getting easier?
No.
Is the world getting easier? No?
No.
Question number 2, are people becoming nicer?
No.
Question number 3, are people becoming more caring?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Question number 4, do our governments, leaders, etc. actually care about us or our health?
No. Obviously, it's for their political gain, for their gain.
Question number 5, do businesses or employers actually care about you making money or being successful?
No. Mm-mm. The world has become greedy. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm starting to get heated up because I know where this is going, and I hope it comes out right. And I don't mean to get heated or slander.
George says in Serbia, yes.
Well, good. I wish I was there with you because that's not the case here.
Jack Nolte says some yes, but not all.
Okay. Question number 6: are things becoming cheaper to buy?
Definitely not. No. Mm-mm.
Question number 7: are families becoming more prosperous?
No, I don't think so.
No, maybe my questions are more directed, at least for these answers, more of domestically. But I would love to hear the international takes on these questions because all of these questions pretty have an easy answer here in the States this day and age. Okay. Question number 8: is transportation becoming cheaper?
Oh my gosh, no! Crazy the prices on cars now.
Okay.
And to travel.
Question number 9: is the food that we see advertisements for day in and day out becoming healthier?
No.
Okay. McDonald's, hey, let's go. Not really. You name it. Coca-Cola. Anyway. Question number 10: is global education on the rise?
No. Mm-mm.
At least not here. I say global. Maybe I should have said domestic.
Domestic, yeah.
But think about that. Question number 11: is our global climate issues getting better?
No, I've actually watched several shows about this. I didn't know that we were watching Venezuela and Colombia, how the Venezuelans, we know that their country, the people are suffering there. But some places don't even have water.
Yep.
Water. They've got to work for their water.
Or walk 3 hours in bare feet to simply fill a 5-gallon jug full of water that will last them a week. Okay. Question number 12: is raising a family getting easier?
Definitely not, no.
Question number 13: is the popularity of tennis, especially in the United States, getting stronger?
I don't think so, and that proved it this week.
What happened to Carla on Monday that I walked up to and was shocked? I was shocked. I got mad, and then when I finally realized what he was saying to you, I got really mad. And we'll tie this in. Number 14: are our oceans getting cleaner?
Definitely not. And one of you guys mentioned the show Seaspiracy. Justin watched the whole thing. I watched
that
half of it, and he said I'm not eating fish anymore. Very
I'd
sad.
never eat it anyway.
We barely do, but it's very sad what's going on.
I watched that. Who said the Seaspiracy?
Let's go back. David Vulich.
Yeah, Vulich. Well, he's OG. He's like day one, dude. Really good guy. It's a great documentary. I had a really good time with it. Okay, question number 15, and I'm almost done. Is the current healthcare system in place getting better? And I mean that domestically. I don't know how it works, everywhere else, but in the U.S., some people are paying $2,000 a month for family insurance, and then they have a $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 deductible, and they still get crap treatment.
I think it's crazy. Very crazy.
Yeah, if you want great healthcare, don't come to the U.S. At all. Question number 16. Do you trust your insurance companies anymore to replace things lost up to 100%?
No, they don't want to. Then that's the whole business, right?
Last 2 questions. Is it getting easier to find good jobs?
No. I think young people that are coming out from college are struggling with jobs.
Can I ask you a question, Carla? Last question. How many of these questions had a no answer?
I would say almost all of them. Some people said yes here, Serbia. I guess free healthcare. We know Canada has free healthcare. Several other places. So there were some yes.
Now, how does this tie in to Fianchy 76's topic about Vasek Pospisil and him being disgruntled and the ATP chairman, whatever his name was, I forget it.
I don't know, but he was fighting with the umpire who was Andrea Gandensi. And, I guess how it all started, I watched the video. I watched the match, by the way. I was watching the match and then I turned it off because I thought Pospisil was going to win that match. He was playing Mackenzie McDonald. So I thought, oh, he's got this match in the bag. But then, who was it? Wildlife sends me, did you see what happened with Pospisil? I had to go back and look at videos, and you mentioned it as well. Well, he hit a ball out of the stadium and then smashed his racket. So that's the whole thing started. And, he's cursing or, telling him, screw the ATP chairman. He had me an hour and a half. We had waited an hour and a half or something. I have the messages or stuff. But he was upset already, but we didn't know that. We're watching this guy just rant, curse, break rackets, which looks bad on him, But he was already upset before he played that match.
Exactly.
And the reason why, which will come back to my topic, you can't play tennis when you're upset. Tennis is such a mental sport. If something's already bugging you, you're going to take it out on someone. Not that it's right, but you're going to take it out on someone or you're going to react to it because you're already upset, right?
Yeah. So all the questions that I just asked, 18 of them, and again, I know a lot of you are in a much better situation for some of those questions than we are, and I mean that. When I was a boy, U.S. was the place to be, but now I love where we are, but it's tough anywhere to survive. It really is. You're working 3, 4, 5 jobs. I mean, we string rackets, teach tennis, sell stuff on eBay. Do the show, even though this makes nothing.
Yeah.
That's why we speak freely, because, anyway, have nothing to lose. But why did Pospisil flip out?
Well, he says, let me say, quote, an hour and a half, the chair of the ATP, he curses, screaming at me in a players' meeting for trying to unite the players. He tells the chairman, Arno Gavas, for an hour and a half, the leader of the ATP, curse, if you want to default me, I'll gladly sue this whole organization. Okay. And then Djokovic comes to his defense and says, I understand what Pospisil is going through. He's trying to help. We're trying to unite the players, and instead, they're divided.
Yeah. Now, every question that I asked, at least for us here, had a no answer. All those questions are so very important to how we live and how we wake up in the morning with stress or no stress. So if you have to go to work on top of that, which i.e. Pospisil is a tennis player, so is the ATP chairman, he's on the business side of it. They're both going to work on top of all the questions we just asked. They're both disgruntled already.
Mm-hmm. Well, the chairman was not him, but the chairman of the ATP.
Yes, I understand that. But the question is what do we think about happening? What Fianchy asked, what do we think about the battle that ensued? Let's look at this, okay? Why did Pospisil flip out? On top of already being disgruntled, surely, because most people in the world today are, he is one of the leaders or one of the spokespeople.
The vice president
of the forming group PTPA, right? Mm-hmm. He is on the other side of the ATP, right? So there's an antagonist and a protagonist, however that works out. There's 2 platoons of soldiers. One's the ATP, one's the PTPA, and they're dug in on the front lines in the trenches. Okay, they're not in the back, shooting mortars. They're on the front lines exchanging like knife blows. They're right there. Okay.
Yeah.
So one is trying to take from the other, and the other one is trying to keep from someone taking from them. Okay. So both people are on the front lines. They're in a war. If we are on the front lines of any type of conflict and we don't remain humble, outbursts, pissing on people's feet, getting in altercations or worse are going to happen, right? So how can you expect anybody to maintain 100% chivalrous humility if 18 questions I asked, and I can come up with 1,000 more, are all answered no? People are pissed off. People don't have time to talk to you. They don't care about who you are, where you come from.
There's a lot of jealousy going on in the world, too. That's a whole thing.
Isn't the majority of the world at this point right now, I'm not saying necessarily fighting, but don't we have issues in the South China Sea? Don't we have nuclear power plants like in Fukushima, Japan, contaminating the oceans that no one talks about? Don't we have places in Europe that maybe are subjected to potential future invasions? We had that in Ukraine Anyway, I'm not going to get into geopolitics, but in my opinion, if this stuff doesn't get worked out soon, I mean, as soon as possible, there has to be some type of reset, whether it's economic, whether it's conflict, I don't know. Now, I'm going to pause here.
Well, wait, first of all, before we Isner did support Post. He said, I feel bad that it happened during this time, he said. There was an article about him saying that. First of all, to me, I've watched some of the Miami Open. The men's tennis is very boring. Sorry to say that, guys. It's just not exciting.
Like currently, I think you're saying.
It's not, right now, this Miami Open, it's not exciting. Okay, I mean, it's just not. The women's is a lot more exciting. But these guys should have, they should have, I wouldn't have attended that tournament. They should have gone all together and make an impact, make them think. Because if you play it, that means in their mind, they think, oh, you need us.
So you're saying there should have been a walkout or a strike?
There should have been a walkout or strike. What better way? You strike. Let them know, we're not doing this for you. Baseball players have done it. Basketball players have done it.
Yeah.
Stop it immediately. Then they'll start thinking, oh, shoot, we need these guys.
Okay. So we're going to continue this, but I'm going to fast forward to what happened to Carla on Monday and how this ties into what Pospisil is disgruntled about in a way. Okay. So on Monday, I'm going to let Carla tell her side of the story first, because we were separated in a way when this happened. And I feel that it's my feelings that Carla was racially targeted. So anyway, we're not going to mention names or what, but those of you watching that have heard about this, that are local, then you know what we're talking about. We're not trying to slander anybody or anything, but this happens all the time, and it happened to us. I mean, it was ugly. It was really ugly. It wasn't pretty at all on Monday.
Well, I think I said some of you guys. I think Wildlife B-Dog got the message that I put on their page. So he says, don't mention the club. I won't.
All right, let me lay the context.
I did shake it off, Gene. Trust me. I'm not even upset about it. I've said the story so many times that I got tired of saying it.
Okay. Carla and I haven't played mixed doubles together in any type of league or tournament setting in 10 years. Okay. The past 2 years, I've been through multiple surgeries, complete knee reconstruction, and broke my right arm on 2 separate occasions. Broke my wrist in both places on the fall with my leg. And then I rammed my arm into a pole after I was getting fit and snapped my ulna. So for 2 years, I've been battling significant injuries. So I got healthy, and Carla and I were asked by someone.
Yeah, a very good person.
A very good person.
That's why I said yes, because we get asked a lot, and I always say no, because I don't want to deal with politics, and people talk, and, some people are shady. They're using you. And this person that asked us, he called me, and I said, this is a good guy. We've played with him before. Good way for Justin.
A great guy. This has nothing to do with the person that asked us.
Good way for Justin to, enjoy tennis since he can't do singles. We'll play doubles together. It's a men's league. Yeah,
so she was going to be one of the guys playing with the guys. Mm-hmm. And we know, Carla and I understand, and we've known this forever, that when we're asked to play on someone's league, that they're kind of using us. We get that. Mm-hmm. And no disrespect to the person that asked us. He's a great friend and a wonderful human being. Mm-hmm. But we understand, hey, will you come play doubles? We understand.
And we said we could only do certain times.
Yeah.
We can't do it all the time, because we got a lot going on. But anyways, so I was told, before you go to this club, make sure you pay the $5, because we're not members. They're $5 each person. Bring a can of tennis balls, and you're allowed to warm up on the court. So Justin and I, we didn't go watch our son on his high school match because we were going to play these doubles. We show up around 4:45, matches at 6. Justin's like, I need to warm up because it takes longer. We go to the club. There's maybe 2 cars parked there. We walk in. It looks like they were doing renovations in the club. We see this guy come out of the bathroom. He says hi to Justin. He says hi to me. I start looking around, looking at all the information, how much to be a member and stuff. He says, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get the water. So I decide to go out to the court. I'm walking with the bag. I have the Roger Federer tennis bag. I walk out. Some guy stops me. He says...
And it's not some little bag. It's a huge bag.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Some guy stops me and he says, do you have a reservation here? I said, no, but I'm playing here for Beta is what it's called. I'm playing here, and we were told that...
we don't need to mention organizations or clubs. Because it's one person. It was the tennis pro...
let me say a story or not.
Yeah, it was the tennis pro there that called her out in front of a student in an otherwise empty facility. Had nothing to do with that organization. It had to do with one person, and that was the pro at this club.
He was doing a lesson, and he stopped his lesson to basically not even come up to me, yell.
Yeah.
He said, "Do you have a reservation here?" I said, "No, I'm here to play a league match. It's at 6 today." He's like, "You're not a member here." I said, I know that. I said, I was told to pay $5 per person, which we have, and to bring 10. He's like, "You're not playing here." I said, I'm playing.
And Carla was alone at this point.
I'm playing for your club.
Yeah, at this point,
said,
I
"But
walked
you're
to the
not
car.
a member here. You can't play here."
And
I said, but then I mentioned the guy's name that told us to come, and he wasn't having it. He didn't care. He's like, "You're not playing here."
Basically thought she was a liar.
I said, "Okay." I said, "I thought we could warm up." And then Justin came in and tried to make a joke with him because he had an IMG Academy.
Yeah, he had an IMG Academy shirt on, and I realized that someone was really ripping into my wife. Finish your story, and I'm gonna tell you my side,
anyways,
because it was too different.
The student was, I think, probably in shock watching this happen.
It was ugly.
He basically talked down to me.
Basically,
well,
he trashed you.
He trashed me, and I was in shock. Normally, I'm a fighter, and I'll tell you a few things, but I think I was in such shock that this guy stopped his lesson and made me feel that small. We left, we walked out. I felt like I was doing the walk of shame, like I did something wrong and it's not a country club, by the way. This club had all the courts empty except the lesson that he was teaching.
There was nobody else there.
There's nobody there. They've been struggling to get a pro there. They've been struggling to get lessons there. I have many students that go play at this club, their league matches.
Yeah.
And basically we were kicked out. I was asked to return. But after that, I will never return.
Well, you were asked to return by email. There wasn't even the respect of giving you a phone call or saying, "Hey, let's meet about this in an office." So are you done with your side?
Well, we contacted the person in charge of,
Didn't even pick up the phone.
No, well, he tried to call, but not this one. So, I left a bad review for this club, and I sent the message that I left for this person. I sent it to my students so they're aware of it. They contacted them, but the president of this club didn't have the decency to even give me a phone call. Instead, sent me an email that probably already was prepared for anybody else that didn't even call me. So
like a blank email and you just fill in a name. So you just send it. It was just.
And
cheesy.
I have many members contacting me apologizing. First of all, I don't want an apology from them. I want an apology from that guy.
I want to talk to that.
And in person.
Look, I've coached for 22 years and was born into the game. Carla the same. Exactly. We've coached together neck and neck for 11 years, every single day, 7 days a week.
Darren, I'll send you the information. I'll send it to you personal.
Okay. I want to tell my side of the story, okay? Because my side of the story is much different. And why I think it was racially motivated. We see all these things about, this life matters and stop Asian hate. What about people that look Mexican? I hate to say that, but that's how I felt. I felt like Carla was sized up because she looked Mexican. And let me explain why. Okay? Let me make sure I have my phone still going, because this is what I want to let out. Okay? And if I get heated, just tell me to chill. Okay? All right. So Carla and I pulled into this match. We were really excited about it. We were happy about it. We practiced about it. We talked about it. We were ready. So this was also the first time in about 10 years that Carla went anywhere by ourselves without our 5 children. We were like, woo, this is nice. Just you and me, baby.
That's right.
It's like 10 years we haven't gone anywhere. The last time we went anywhere, we drove to Atlanta for a day, and you were 7 months pregnant with Gabriella. Mm-hmm. That's the last time we've gone anywhere. Every day, 7 days a week. So it was a really nice thing that we were going to play this match, okay? So we pull into this parking lot, and there is a club in the front, and there's an empty parking lot. Our car was going to be the third car. There was 2 cars up front and center, and I told Carla, we have this big 5K tennis thing on the back of our car. Why don't we park at the end of the parking lot as not to, run up in someone's club and have, 5K tennis coaches, so everybody can see it. Humble, right? Mm-hmm. So I parked at the back of the parking lot, and we walked up to this club. So we go in through a gate, and we open the door to a clubhouse, and it's under construction. There's a bunch of construction going on and so forth. And I tell Carla, I was like, this is kind of comical because our house looks the same way.
Yeah.
Our house was destroyed by her.
You said, I think I like this place.
Yeah, I told Carla, I was like, I think I like this place. It reminds me of our house. The satire was that our house, if you go in our house right now, it's under construction. There's stuff everywhere. So I was telling Carla, hey, this is pretty cool. So as I walked in, I had to use the restroom. Okay, so I walked in. Now, I did not know that Carla even saw this gentleman that went off on her. We were separated by a little bit. So I walk into the men's bathroom and here this guy comes, looks me right in the eye. Hey, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were in there. Oh, no problem. Well, excuse me. Hey, have a nice day.
Well, he said hi to me. He just said hi.
There was no problem. And I was inside the building. I was inside the club, inside of it, not outside on the tennis courts. But if there was an issue about us being there or her, why wouldn't you say it inside the building when your student isn't around? So I go in, I use the restroom, I come back out, I find Carla, I say, hey, Carla, I forgot our water jug. I'm going to go get the water jug. You go ahead out on the court, get set up, and we'll start warming up. So I walk outside the building, past another building, out to the end of the parking lot, and I grab my water jug. I slowly walk back in, back through the building, back out to the courts, and I see Carla and some dude aggressively postured on a fence with the student in the background, like doing like, what the heck is going on? And Carla usually is a fighter. She doesn't keep her mouth shut. But I saw she was like white as a ghost, maybe a little shaky.
I didn't understand. Like, I didn't get it. Like,
so,
I didn't get what was the big deal. If they had a sign that said $5 if you're a non-member.
Yeah,
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, on the door it says non-members $5.
I couldn't understand.
Okay, whatever. So when I walk up, I have no idea what happened for maybe the minute and a half I was gone. So when I walk up, all I hear this guy saying, and this is a young guy. Look, I was playing the game before this dude was even conceived, and I've been coaching since before this kid was shaving, okay? And I don't think he's shaving yet. Just a little kid to me, right? So, and a rookie pro, obviously, and a piece of garbage in terms of how you talk to a lady at all, and plus doing it in front of a student. So when I walked up, this guy's on the fence, and the only thing I heard is, you're not playing here, get out. That's what I heard, okay? So finally, we start to walk away, and Carla starts to fill me in on this guy saying, do you have a membership here? Now, this guy saw me face to face inside the building, inside of a building where things can get stolen, people can break things, there's no harm done outside, right? If there was a problem with me being there, wouldn't you have said something to me when I was inside the clubhouse? No problem with me, though. No problem. You're good, man. Hey, nice to meet you. Have a great time. But then I walk outside, and Carla and I were never together, and then somehow he tells her to get the hell out. Mm-hmm. So we walked out, and this guy kept shouting. Carla told the guy that we were here to play for your club on their team. We were asked to play, hence, we kind of get used for that. Every time people ask us to play, we know we're being used. This isn't a first time for anything. Hell, I mean, you see what I'm saying? I hope people understand that. When you ask us to play, we understand that you're wanting a win. And then you check the record and you understand they had a loss recently. So we're not stupid. So we were happy to play. We were happy that we were being used. But then to show up and have the young kid pro there telling a girl to her face, get out? Why? So your thoughts on that? Why in the hell would I be inside of a building and have some pro look at me, hey, great, have a good time, and then her get thrown out? Why? She didn't say, she didn't do, she did nothing. What else could it be?
I don't know. I mean, I felt like, for me, I didn't take it as racism like many of you guys are saying. I felt
it's 100% racism. They sized you up as a Mexican. And
I felt he wanted me to know that he's the pro there, and whatever he says goes.
We were certified pros before he was shaving, babe. Okay. Anyway, let me mention a couple of things. Number one, the reason why we do this channel and the reason why we coach and the way we were raised in this game was for the following reasons. Tennis is a global international language, number one. Number two, it's about fitness, friendships, and having fun. Okay. We have 2 courts here where we live.
Well, but before you go there, Justin, I did get a message back by several people that know me, and they apologize again. But again, the apologies that need to come from them.
You got sized up like you were a Mexican. Period. What other reason could it have been,
said,
Carla?
Please, I don't know. Please come back and blah blah blah. And I said, you would think that in that message I put, you would think you'd want more people to come to your club, be inviting.
Crazy.
Tennis about friendship, about getting people to play. But this is the opposite of what your club stands for. Okay, and
let me put out a couple of nuggets here. The idea, the 18 questions I asked at first, is the world getting easier? Are people getting nicer? And blah, 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 blah. That ties into this how, okay? There is no way in hell that I would ever, as a pro, at the 2 court, we have 2 courts. They had 8, and none of them were being used. I think there was 8, maybe 10. I don't know the number, but it's like 6, 8, or 10. They were all empty. There was no one there except this guy that was trashing her.
And the membership there is like $50 a month? So it's not a
Yeah.
country club. It's not even a country club. It wasn't nice. They had like old gates, and again, this club's been having
Like
a lot of
barbed
issues.
wire around
As a
it.
matter of fact, they asked him to work there several years ago, and we said no.
Yeah, we said no. So anyway, that's irrelevant. We have our own place, so I didn't want to leave my
At first,
place.
I felt bad, Jesus. I felt really bad. I kept thinking about it. I went to my son's match because I said, "Hey, I'm not playing this," and I kept thinking about it. And I said, "Geez," I said, It brought me memories of why I don't do leagues and why I don't, go to these country clubs and stuff, because this is the treatment you get. And
they just run
and
their
that's
mouth.
why I said, "Geez," I said, I haven't been reminded about this for a long time.
No, I think it's kind of comical in a way. You mentioned that a couple of people at this club asked me to coach there a while ago, so we went there, checked out the courts, and I guess people started talking. Hey, this guy may come coach here. Do you remember at that point in time there started to be some rumor going around that I wasn't that great of a player, and they were saying because they saw me play doubles in 2010 at a tournament in Mobile.
Mm-hmm.
I found out about this. You know what the funny thing is? I didn't play the tournament. I wasn't there. It was her and her brother playing. And her brother is such a good player. I mean, amazing, incredible player. I mean, a beast. And he was playing a tournament and he was toying with people because he would beat everyone like so badly. So he was toying with them. And somehow 10 years later, people were saying that was me toying around with people. But it was actually her brother.
But remember, to be a good pro, Mike, my dad says you don't need to be a good player.
Yeah. Look, some of the best coaches in the world have never played at a competitive level. Patrick Mouratoglou. Look at Bill Belichick.
He's a good player. But...
Well, he's a good player, but he wasn't like a standout on tour.
Darren, I agree with you. The pro should have been fired. Anything less is not good enough. An apology is not good enough in this case. I agree with you. The fact that the club sends an email instead of calling means that anything that happens there doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Maybe if I was a doctor or lawyer or someone who could do a lot,
but
he probably would have called me. But you know what? We do teach, and I'm not mentioning the club's name here, but I will tell every single person that I meet.
Okay, here's the thing that we can do. There's 2.4, there's like 2,500 of you guys out there that may watch this channel or my weather videos. That club has to be a couple hundred strong at most, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a bigger voice to challenge that stuff here, okay? Now, let me say a couple things about myself and Carla. The idea of Carla and I turning away anyone that wants to play the game is sick. We would never do that. Yesterday, Carla and I were out. We had a full day of lessons. We had a break between 1 and 2 o'clock. So we were booked from 7 in the morning to 1, and then from 2 to dark. So we had an hour gap. We go home for a second, make a quick sandwich, and dart back. We had about 30 minutes to spare. And between that hour gap, about 4 or 5 children from Wisconsin showed up on the court with their parents. What did Carla and I do? We said, you know what? We got 30 minutes. Let's go give these kids a free lesson. Let's go. And they were on our teaching court.
Yeah.
Did we put them off the court? Heck no.
No way.
We went onto the court, gave them our balls, I don't think we gave them rackets.
We left our balls there.
Left the ball mower, and taught them how to hit forehands, backhands, and volleys. And we did it, I think, very well. No charge, for free. And it was a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Now, the courts were full, right? And we still made them the possibility to play and have a good lesson totally on me or on us. Okay. Yeah. Now, how in the hell?
That's the problem with the tennis world, though.
How
can we invite people? How can we get minorities? How can we get different, women? Men. You can't discriminate. You can't push people away because of class, economic status,
how they look, what they wear.
How can we get the tennis world to be even better if we're already classifying somebody like you're not good enough? I don't know what happened there.
How can a club kick 2 people out dressed well, tennis attire? I had a 5K tennis shirt on. I had one of my Federer hats on. I had like $2,000 worth of rackets in my bag and a beautiful racket bag, very polite. And then I come out and see this coach thumping her, like aggressively talking down, trashing her. And the poor student was sitting there to his left, like looking like he saw a ghost.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's okay.
I think it is very problematic. I think that was very hurtful. I really give you a fist pump for not flipping out.
Well, I was in shock again. I was in total shock. I didn't know what to say. I was like, what?
To squash this side of the story and back to Pospisil.
Do you think the guy was also sexist? Could be. I thought it was more that I was a female. For me,
I thought it.
I honestly, Olympic, I thought it was more that I was a female. I was dressed in my tennis clothes. I had the bag, I had the hat, the Cincinnati hat.
That's right.
I look like a tennis player. I'm built pretty strong, I think, in my opinion.
She's built stronger than any girl I know.
So I think that, I think the female part for him was a problem. I really do.
Now, okay, a couple of times in our history, when I was coaching at a club in Montgomery, Alabama, and a friend of mine had nothing to do with me coaching at this club. A friend of mine, actually, he was dating my sister. He wanted to play some tennis. So I picked him up. His name is Josh. Anyway, I picked Josh up and we went to a set of public courts that had a pro there, like a city paid pro, so like a subcontractor. Now, this is like 10 years ago, but I've been through it so many times. So I picked him up. We go to hit balls at this public park. So I'm out there hitting balls, and some secretary walks out onto our court and says, "But you can't play here." Tells me I can't play there, and both myself and the guy I was hitting with have to leave. I'm like, what the hell? What did I do? Well, you didn't do anything, but you coached somewhere else. And the pro there was such a little petty coach. All he did was feed balls. As the word traveled, tennis is a small world. If something happens in tennis, even on a small level, and Afghanistan, it's going to travel, right? The tennis community is very tight in a way, so people talk. So I found out later that the coach was so stressed out that he would hear me coaching and pushing and pushing and pushing. Yeah, when I go hit with anybody and they need help, I'm going to tell them, do this, do that. Come on, let's go. Most coaches these days just want to tap and feed balls, and they get offended when they know another coach is there as to they may want my phone number or your phone number and lose business. That's not my problem. But this guy at this club had no idea that we were coaches or we coached at another location. Mm-hmm. And needless to say, there was no one else there, so that couldn't have been the issue. It couldn't have been his ego involved. It was something about you because I walked to my car.
Yeah, obviously it was something about me. I don't know, maybe I reminded him of an ex-girlfriend.
It was something about you, and whatever that may be, it has to be the way he was talking to you. It has to be either he sized you up racially, sexually.
I don't know. He was like, "No, you're not playing here."
He wouldn't let her talk.
He wouldn't let me talk. No, you're not playing here. I was like, wow.
Okay.
Anyways, next subject, please.
All right. We're gonna change.
But I read many of your comments. And,
let's read some of those comments.
Darren said he's gonna report him. He said because he's a USTA coach. I saw.
Or is he USPTA?
I sent him the picture. I sent him the picture. So
USPTA.
He is a USTA pro. So.
I didn't even know USTA had a coaching program. USPTA, PTR.
USTA has a. Well, he says here, USTA pro coach. I'm looking at his thing.
Well, I've been a USTA lifetime member since I was born, and they don't even offer lifetime memberships anymore.
Well, I mean,
I'm telling you, this was a little screwball that just totally dug into her. And by the way, this little chunky little sucker, this kid, and I say kid because look, I have a son as old as him, or has to be close. I mean, he couldn't have been in his mid-20s. I couldn't have been in his mid-20s. His little chunky butt needs to go get in the gym and take lessons from Carla on how to look, how to act, how to talk, and how to walk. And to do that in front of a student, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, you would think that was my other point. Like, if you want to talk to somebody, I would have respected him if he would have stepped aside. Excuse me. He would have told the student, "Hey guys, by the way, you're not members here. You have to have, whatever, a membership."
Yeah.
If he would have said that nicely, I would have been like, "Listen, I'll be like, I get it, dude. Okay, yeah. But he wasn't.
Yeah, so some of the clubs that we've coached in have been exclusive, to the point where Carla and I will even just laugh at the chance of even trying to become a member because you couldn't even afford to buy in.
Yeah, some memberships are like $20,000.
$20,000 just to buy in, and then everything else on top. So we've coached at places like this, but. Anyway, this wasn't like a country club.
I don't want to keep talking about this. Let's talk about other tennis because this is ridiculous.
All right, let's go. Yeah. Enough said. Next topic, and I need some help with this one, by the way, and this has to do with women's tennis, okay? We know for the longest time that Andreescu has been out of the game for whatever reason, pandemic, injury, whatever. We know before that she's won some big tournaments, including a major, what was it, U.S. Open, and then Miami or Indian Wells, I forget. But my question to everyone is this. I want to know if I'm alone on this, okay? For some reason, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I cannot find a way to like Bianca Andreescu. I just can't. Am I the only person that... It's not about her game. it's just for me. It seems her presence on the court. When I was a boy racing the game, we would talk well, we would walk well. She's got the scrunchie because
I think it's a good look.
I hate that
come
look.
On, look. I like Andreescu. I think that Justin has no reason to feel that way. None whatsoever. I mean, she's a great looking.
I don't think great looking, but that has nothing to do with it.
She's in shape. She makes tennis fun because she has variety. She's a fighter. She seems polite to the players that I don't see that she has any bad stuff with other players. I don't know why you don't like her.
Yeah,
there's many other players that I would think you would not like, but not Andreescu. I don't know.
It's weird for me. It's not that I don't. She's a wonderful player. Lights out. The proof is in the pudding. She's been answering. She's in the semifinals of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I thought it was the scrunchie.
Yeah, I'm wearing it. Do you guys think it's a good look for me, or I don't know? I'm not tying my hair.
That's so cheesy. Anyway, so at one point we did have one of our boy students. What's up, Gabe Perkins? Let's go. But he came out to the court one day with a scrunchie.
Well, the girl gave him a scrunchie, so he wore it.
Anyway, at first I thought it was the scrunchie. But then, I was like, why for the life of me do I not resonate with this energy?
So I see some comments here. Wildlife said, Bianca's overuse of come on is a little annoying, but I love her game. Momo says she's a great player, but her antics can be a bit much.
I find her to be snooty. I find her in some of the social media stuff, and again, I don't do a lot of that. We pull stuff out there, and I rarely go back and read anything. But I just find her to be a little stuck up. Mm-hmm. Like, my shit doesn't stink. Like, that type of thing.
I don't know what, I don't know why you would feel that way about her. I mean,
I don't know.
She doesn't seem that way to me. I mean, she's just, that's her. I mean, at least she has emotions, and she's not like Pliskova.
Look, but Pliskova at least is relatively humble outside of the time where she whacked the umpire's chair with a racket.
Where is it that she's humble? She talked trash about Serena? She talks too.
Hasn't the entire world at some point talked trash about Serena?
I don't know. So you're in agreement of David Vulic with Justin? Okay.
Love that guy. Let's go.
Does she do the latent gesture? That would be way
Let's
better.
go, Vulic. Love that dude. He's been a soldier since day one.
Yeah. I watched her play against Andreescu, and I thought that was a boring match, by the way. It was boring because they couldn't be consistent. Yeah. They kept missing. It was like a lot of misses, but then she played Muguruza and won.
Yeah, I for some reason, it's just when I watch her play, it's not like I have to turn down the volume because she doesn't really squeal. I mean, sometimes, just like anybody else, they're going to let out some air. Now, the Sabalenka match yesterday against, who did Sabalenka lose to in 3 sets? Who? Barty.
Barty, yeah.
I love watching Barty play. She's a wonderful young girl. She's vibrant. She has variety. Yeah, she doesn't squeal at all. Watching Sabalenka play is like watching the train stop from 100 miles an hour to nothing and straight iron breaks. Every damn forehand she hits.
Ethan said, I feel the way about Djokovic the way Justin does about Andreescu.
Okay, this is a good comment.
Or personally rubs me the wrong way.
Thank you. That's Ethan DA.
Yes.
Sup, New York? Haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah.
How are you?
I don't have an issue with her at all. I mean, I like watching her. I think that you guys say she's a one-hit wonder.
Well, she's still hitting.
I would love to see. She should win against Sorribes, and Osaka should win, and I'd like to see that match because I think Osaka's a different level player.
I did not write this. I had no idea this was
going to... Ethan Normandy now. That's his last name.
Oh, Normandy.
Yeah.
Let's go. Tie the knot. Let's go. Ethan is another day one soldier out there. Much love to him. Ethan, by the way.
I'm sure he goes through a lot of stuff. And you feel my pain, Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan, before we started doing giveaways and had Ytex helping out with that, Ethan lost a bet and made cookies for our children and actually sent them here. Mm-hmm. Love that. Soldier stuff there. Hope everything's well. We have a lot of respect for you. And hopefully that new last name is all positive.
Yes.
Let's go. But I love the metaphor there. So it was Ethan that said Djokovic to him is like Andreescu to me. Mm-hmm. I don't know how Djokovic is to him. Mm-hmm. I'm personally a huge fan of Djokovic because of his soldier mentality and his patriotism. We won't get into that because I know you're on the opposite side of the track.
I think with Djokovic, he's a fighter, and I think he fights for people, which is great. So I can't. I can't say the same thing. I don't feel that what you feel, Ethan. I think I've learned how to respect him more. If there's a player that I can't stand, who can I stand? Sabalenka.
Andreescu.
She gets under my skin. I just can't stand though. Ah, ah, it's like, oh my gosh. And then watching her play, I'm like, can you add some variety to your game?
Well, yeah, she never slows down. She's one gear. She's wide open. If she wins, she wins. If she loses, she loses.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, someone mentioned that she lost against Barty, and B-Dog sent me a message and said...
Is B-Dog out there?
No, he's not.
Well, yeah, B-Dog.
But he says Sabalenka needs to get in fitness shape. It's not her weight at all. She wimps out in 3 sets versus top 10 talent. And that's why I say she will never win a slam.
Sabalenka?
Yeah.
Sabalenka's issue, it's not that she can't go deep in a match. It's that she has no sense of variety. She's big all the time. Everything she hit is big, right? Mm-hmm. And if she misses, she misses. And if she gets an in, she gets an in. The problem with that is when you go big and you're on a flat-out run, or if you go big on a return of serve all the time, the percentages are not in your favor, mm-hmm. right? And tennis, I think it's really good to be 70, 80% of whatever it is that you're doing. You know, a C average or a B average of tennis is an A+, right? Mm-hmm. So Sabalenka continues to go for F- shots and giving them gusto. So it's hard to even out the statistics against the likes of Barty. Barty is varietal. She's not grunty. She's not squealing. She's staying calm. She's staying poised. She's staying
lost too.
She's staying humble, but nonetheless, she almost, but she didn't. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Mm-hmm. She almost lost, but she won. No one cares about the score. W's and L's, wins and losses is all that matters.
I agree.
Okay? Sabalenka, I'm sorry, Wildlife One, if you're out there, I've always been a fan if I turn the volume down.
I think Darren said the same thing.
I have to turn the volume down. Now, by the way, is Darren LeBeau out there?
Yeah, he is.
Let's go, bro. I always keep up with your pages and stuff. I haven't seen a new trick shot video in a while, but I have seen your Nike outfit recently with the headband, the blue Nike shirt, ready in the ready position with the buddy you went out to play tennis with the other day. Come on! Let's go, bro. I wish. You know, we haven't been on a vacation in like 11 years, right? Never gone anywhere. We've never left the country together, ever.
No.
I never left the country ever in my life anyway, and my father was a captain in the Navy. Mm-hmm. Go figure that. I just remember because I was playing tennis as a junior and traveling everywhere. Anyway, I would love to go to London and let you and me take on Darren and any other person, male or female.
I don't know. Darren is a pretty good player.
I got you, bro.
He's a pretty good player.
Got you, bro. Let's go.
Oh, he's damn good.
He is a good player.
Yeah.
Love this guy.
That's going to be a tough one. I mean, we have a lot of these friends that play tennis, and they're like, come down. I'm like, don't waste my time.
Yeah, Darren's got a Chris Darren. He can play. Yeah, he's good.
I'm like, I don't know.
Got something for you, though, Darren. Got something for you. It's called Aces times 12. Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
George, good one. Nick Kyrgios, yes. I feel about the same way about him. Can't stand him.
I'll remain quiet on that one. I don't like Nick Kyrgios, but I don't hate him. I get where, in a sense, his energy comes from. I don't like to get into this here, but there was a time in my life where I got in a lot of trouble. Spent a couple of years away from home, if you catch my drift. So I get his energy. But the one thing that I will never forgive is when he was changing sides and sat down on a bench with a full stadium and was making adult gestures with the water bottle.
All right, stop bringing it up.
That's the one thing I can't get past. But I do get his energy.
Even though I'm an IC, I am not a beast on the court, but trying. But you are right. There is still
Ranich.
Montenegro.
All right. Miami Open. Let's talk about that for a while. However, does anyone agree with me that Andreescu is just kind of hard to like? I'm not talking about her game.
Well, B-Dog, you're on that. I know you like her a lot.
She has a great game. Is B-Dog out there now?
Yeah, he is.
Let's go, B-Dog! Oh, love this guy.
So what are we talking about next? Because I have here, but has anyone seen the video of the 12-year-old hitting?
Go for that one.
2 forehands on both sides.
Go for it.
He was playing at Easter Bowl. I'm not going to say his name because he's a minor, but there's a video out there. What do you call them? When they're
ambidextrous. They can switch hit left or right.
I say it works for now because you're 12 and I was watching him. Not saying he's a bad player, but the shots were not, there was no variety. It was kind of the same, and I don't recommend doing that. I'm sorry. When you start getting these guys that are beasts and you see them play at Division 1 and that ball's coming, you're You don't have time to do that.
You know, when I see stuff like this, Carla's alluding to a video that she saw of a young junior player, and he was hitting all forehands on both sides of the court. In other words, he was switching from right hand to left hand. Do you think this is something new?
No,
do you think that this is the only kid that's tried that in 200 years of tennis?
No,
it's been around forever.
It's been around. And to take the time to learn how to do this, why didn't you like perfect a good one-handed backhand or something?
Carla, when I broke my arm twice, my playing arm, I broke the same arm twice. Wrist in both places, got healthy, then broke my ulna, snapped it in half. I learned to play left-handed very well pretty quickly, right? I had a full cast on, drenched in sweat, and I'm hitting with the left hand. Does anyone think that this is something new? Does anyone think that hitting forehands on both sides of the court is something that was just created?
I didn't think it was cool. To me, it was ugly because then it changed. Then you have no. It's good to see you have different strokes.
There is only one gear here. It's only a forehand. It doesn't matter what side.
He jumped at. He's 12. He's 12. Okay. I mean, that's what 12. Boys tennis at 12. I'm sorry. It's
crappy.
It's crappy. It's not.
You know, there's a million of them.
Every kid at 12 hits good. Just like the girls at 12 is like puts you to sleep because they're pushing.
Because they're moonball.
But you know, when you go to the boys 16 at a high level tournament, then you're seeing boys really hit the ball, crank it, and they have variety. I mean, we've seen some of these boys are so quick to the net, boom, boom, put it away. You don't have time for that.
You know, the shallowness now of the tennis media coverage is that they see this kid hitting forehands at 12 years old with the left and right hand, you know, so it's always a forehand. This is the problem with tennis coaching in the first place. You go to these clubs, some people charge $120 an hour for a lesson. And what are they doing the whole time? Feeding them forehands. You know, because the pros these days, just like the schmuck that yelled at you, you know, they can remain safe. And in other words, they can keep their job if they can have some player out there hitting the easiest shot in the court, right? So the parent drops $120 an hour on the lesson. There's two of us when we teach. We charge what, $30 to $40 an hour, and there's two of us. Anyway, but the clubs have, you know, banquet halls to upkeep and people to pay.
Sue is not. They're mentioning quite a few players.
But yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's very few.
The Sue Sheas, the Monica Seles.
Yeah, but there's very few that are successful, like really successful.
And why? But look, the difference between Monica Seles, Santoro, Bartoli, Sue Sheas.
There's someone I named another.
The difference here is that. The difference here is that kid is one-handed on both sides. You know, those girls hit with two hands both ways, right? Seles, two hands both ways. Bartoli, Sue Sheas, Seles, two hands both sides. This kid's pulling a hand off.
And he's jumping.
But why is this a problem moving forward, Carla? Because you don't have the time to do that when you're playing someone serving at 130 to your forehand or backhand side. If I'm stepping up against Ivo Karlovic or John Isner or Opelka, the most big servers in the game, do I have time to sit there in the ready position if it's going to my forehand or backhand to decide which hand I'm going to hit with? You don't have time for it. It might ooh and ah the highlight reels. It might ooh and ah the social media world. It might ooh and ah the people that have no idea about how quick the game is when you're on the court. You don't have time for that. That kid will not be successful if he's continued to be allowed to switch from one hand on this side, throwing the racket the other hand, and go that way. You do not have time to turn and set up immediately, and you do not have time to step and hit the ball if you are already not in that right hand. Do you see what I'm saying?
I mean, it's great for now. We'll work at 14s and.
Carla, let me put you in this situation. Let's say you're returning serve.
Yeah.
You got 130 mile an hour bomb coming right to the body. Right to the body.
Block.
How do you decide which hand to lower and grab or to get out of the way and grab the other way? You don't have time for it. So I'm glad he's on the highlight reels now, but it's definitely not going to transpire onto the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would already be there.
So why are you saying no, Bojan? No.
I like Bojan.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious why he's saying no. No to what? No to what? All right, next topic. I had this thing. I don't even know if I should talk about this, but there were a few players that didn't want to get the vaccine. Sabalenka, Slovenia. I guess they're thinking about maybe them having to take the vaccine because they're traveling, going to different tournaments. And Sabalenka was one of the players. She said, I'm not getting it. I don't trust it. She doesn't want her family to do it, and she doesn't want to do it unless she is forced to because of traveling. Slovenia said there's no evidence, that you still get it if you take the shot.
We have to be careful with this topic.
Well, I'm just saying what they're saying. That's it.
We're going to skate around that because the video will get removed. We're going to I didn't know you had that. We can't talk about that. because the video will get stripped off. There's no sense. Just change the subject.
All right, next subject.
I got another one?
I told you about that earlier. You didn't say
But
anything.
I didn't, yeah, just stay away from that one. I don't know right or wrong to what she just brought up, but it is a golden rule. If you talk about that or, any hardcore politics on YouTube, your video will be removed. And this is an important video, so let's skate around that.
No to all what? That you think that the kid will be successful hitting both sides, for two forehands?
That's fine.
No.
I think opinions are great.
You're watching the beginning of the video probably that you're saying no.
It's okay.
That makes sense. He's probably watching the beginning.
And then also for Bojan out there, if he runs into this later, again, he is the individual that answered our question about the extortion scheme, who is responsible. So I'm really glad he's out there for sure. It's always nice to have another Serbian viewer.
So what do we think about the men's Miami Open? I mean, we've got Medvedev still in it. We got Tsitsipas still in it, but no Zverev. I thought Korda was going to lose to Fognini. I'm shocked that he won. Sinner playing against Bublik.
What'd you say? I'm just kidding. No.
Tsitsipas, Hurkacz should be a good match. Korda, Rublev. Okay.
Yeah, I was totally kidding with that.
Medvedev, Bautista.
I love the young Korda. That's Peter Korda's son.
Mm-hmm.
I do love Bjorn Borg's son, by the way. Watch out for him.
I have not seen him. Who are you talking about, Bjorn Borg's son?
Man, look, you better Google that up. You've been outside the tennis world forever.
He's not playing Miami Open.
I'm not talking about for Miami Open, but he's
We're talking about the Miami Open.
All right, well, I'm sorry. But just look out for him because he's a fine young player.
Okay.
It's nice to see some of these vintage players now with their children coming up and doing very well.
This is definitely a 500. Should be a 500 level tournament. I agree with you, Wildlife.
That's a great comment.
This is not 1,000. This is not.
Well,
I mean, one of these guys winning, are we going to really say the guy really won 1,000 Masters just like Thiem winning U.S. Open?
Well, the prize money as they dropped it is now commensurate with a 500 or less.
It is a preview? Oh, well, that's going to be tough. Well, I like Tsitsipas, but Medvedev cramping. Come on, man. Get a better diet or something. I don't know. No. He's always cramping.
Well, he's
not always
that,
like...
Look,
he's always got the facial stuff.
Look, you don't have to worry about that because your legs are so strong.
I did cramp like one time, and Darren said eat blueberries or something like that.
But cramping is a really tough animal to overcome for us thin, lean guys because when you push the thin muscles for so long, they begin to starve and they just tighten up, and you're like, oh.
And then Iron Man can't do anything against Rublev. He keeps losing to him. They face each other like 3 times.
Is William Spencer out there?
No.
So anyway, William Spencer out there, love you, bro. He's in the UK along with Darren and Matt Cain. But Carla I put a picture of Carla out there where her tan line, right? So she's got this really nice, dark, Spanish, Latin, lovely skin, but her foot is like whiter than the whitest part on any building anywhere. It's like totally white. So William Spencer chimed in with something that was really funny. I forget what the comment was, but he compared her tan line to something like, I forget, but it was funny. Sorry.
To the UK?
Yeah, something in the UK. Anyway.
Hey, what's up, Wayne Chia?
Sup, Singapore?
Rublev owns Ironman. I agree.
Yeah.
He might as well say every time he's got him in the draw, I can't play. I have an injury. Because 6'1", 6'2", that's big.
All right. Miami Open, who wins it?
Who knows? Anybody.
You would
I can't even say Tsitsipas. Anyone.
Well, you would think you would say Medvedev or Tsitsipas or whoever, but Medvedev can't play the net. Mm-hmm. Tsitsipas is spastic, so it's like
maybe Sampras should come out of retirement. You're right, Yinghao.
There you go. Maybe. And then on the women's side, I'm assuming it's going to be Osaka. I think Osaka and Andreescu played once, and I think.
But they would face each other in the semis if they win tonight.
Well, I'm assuming that's going to happen. Unless they just don't want to put out that much energy now, and they're both already rich enough to not have to worry about it, so they just bail.
Well, I think Osaka's richer than Andreescu.
That's what, yeah, of course. Yeah. But what I'm saying, sometimes before a major, we know we have the French Open coming up, and I know that's not the surface of Andreescu or Osaka's.
Thank you, Darren. Wow.
What?
He said, I just reported that coach to the USTA disciplinary board. I also made a bad recommendation to the club you went to as well. I have only just started.
Yeah,
thank you, Darren.
That guy was awful. I don't even want to think about that again. I didn't sleep at all. This happened on Monday night. I didn't sleep at all because I was I had to call. Her dad called, and I had to get on the phone. Her dad's an incredible human being, and believe me, myself and her dad as 2 coaches and lifetime tennis players and competitors, we've had our issues, right? We've gone at one another, but respectively, and we've always hugged at the end. But her dad is a wonderful human being and a hell of a tennis player and a hell of a good coach. Oh, and by the way, hell of a Honduran soccer player too, by the way. He was a soccer player, or football, however you say it where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of an athlete. But when I have to get on the phone with him and vent, you know I'm upset, right? Anyway, I forgot what I was saying prior to that. But Andreescu versus Osaka, I think they played once, and if I remember correctly, it was at the U.S. Open, and Osaka won in 3 sets. I'm assuming if they play again, that may be the tale, or maybe Osaka wins even easier.
Don't you think that Andreescu's put a lot of energy into her matches? She's gone 3 sets.
Very true.
I mean, Anisimova was 3 sets. Good to see Anisimova out. You know, she was thicker. B-Dog, you mentioned that she was thicker. Yeah, she's not a little girl anymore.
Yeah, and Osaka has so much to fight for. You know, she's a lovely girl. She's mixed, so she is African American with Japanese. And so she has so much to fight for. She has the hate against African Americans. She has the hate against.
But that's so stupid. This whole thing. I didn't know it was because of the back.
Whatever. You can't say that word on here. You can't say vaccine.
About whatever the thing.
Yeah. So I really enjoy Osaka's platform for starting to dominate the game. She has a lot to fight for. She has the globe watching her for all the right reasons. So because, again, I'm not really an Andreescu fan because I feel like she comes across, snooty, and maybe it's just me. But I really hope Osaka does some damage there. I really hope Osaka plays the French. I don't think she'll win it, but I hope she still starts to jump on the clay just to keep her global.
Well, she needs to learn how to play on that.
Yeah, we can't dodge the clay anymore. Even if you lose in the first round, still play it. Start to build a fan base there to help your global brand and your icon. And I love her Nike logo, by the way. And I don't want to mention, I think recently in the news there was this thing about these Nike shoes that had to do with the man down below. And I won't even get there because I think it's just awful that something like this can even be designed. Who in their right mind thinks about designing? And I'm not going to go there because the video will get pulled for that. But have you seen these Nike shoes that have some affiliation with some, I don't know, rap artist or something, and it has to do with the devil? I mean, what does this world come to? We're kicking out.
Why do they allow videos like that to be? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, and no disrespect to him, I know a lot of our kids used to sing that song, Old Town Road or something, and now he's like for devil shoes. I don't want to get into that, but it's just really odd to me. I don't know how it gets any better. At the beginning of the show, we asked 18 questions. At least in the States, every answer was no. Now we've got satanic shoes. I don't get it, but this is the problem. This is the cornerstone of the problem. And this entire conversation stemmed from Fiansky 76's comment that I struggled for 6 days to try to figure out how I was going to write the narrative. And then that happened to you. And then the narrative became very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all I got. You're done?
Done.
Any comments you want to take?
Let's see. So if Osaka wins, I think someone said Jean says if Osaka wins, she'll be number 1. She deserves to be number 1.
She definitely deserves to be number 1.
Yeah.
Also, Jean Swart out there, much love to you. Jean Swart's a fine young man in South Africa that's very involved in the tennis community.
Ethan, send me the message. You have my phone number, so send me what you think about that. I just look, I don't care about the video. It's just the stuff that's like, why do we have to put that on shoes? And
it's crazy.
Come on, like kids don't need to see that. I don't know.
But finishing up the Jean Swart shout out, young man, South Africa, wonderful family. By the way, you turned 18 recently. Still waiting on any way I can send you the money that you deserve. I know your mom is a strong woman and she's very disciplined about that type of thing, but you've worked for it. So please let us know any way. I'll up the ante to $100 right now. $100 US I will send to you. He does our moderating. He keeps up with everything for us. And don't forget about the gentleman that does our fantasy team Excel sheet too, by the way. Haven't heard from him in a while. But Gene, let us know. Please tell your mother or let her watch this part of the video. You do a great job, Mom, raising this fine young man. He deserves it. He's worked for it. Please tell me a way I can send you $100 US as of now, whether it's PayPal, Venmo, whatever works for you. But you deserve that. You've worked for it.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Guys, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And thank you for listening. I thought this was a really good show, and usually I don't think they're very good at all, ever. But this one meant a lot to me and us. And Carla, I'm very sorry you had to deal with that. And you handled it like a competitor and the lady that you are.
Well, I'm glad that I handled it that way. Otherwise, it would have been ugly. If it would have been like the one I'm sitting here right now and prepared for that, if I would have been prepared for it, would have been a different story.
Yeah, watching her.
I would have been shouting, screaming. Who knows?
Watching her with that 20-something-year-old rookie pro in front of a student. In my opinion, racially put you out. I'm sorry. He didn't say anything to me inside the clubhouse. But when I was outside and you were inside, then he did. Why wouldn't you say anything to me inside the clubhouse and then you say something to her outside of it? I don't know how else to rationalize against it. I mean, you're a beautiful woman, built super strong. So I don't know how it would be because you were a woman. I think it had to do with maybe. Anyway, I won't go there. We've already talked about it. Anyway, you handled it like a competitor, and I love you a lot for that.
Love you too.
All right, everyone.
Busy, guys. We're gonna be starting to put our furniture together. So yeah, looks like we're moving in next week.
Can't wait. And Darren LeBeau, we will be playing you at some point in time. We will be getting there. So get your partner. In the picture the other day, you guys get ready because she's playing with the boys.
Right? I have no idea what you're talking about, William Chu. I'm sure Justin does though.
What?
They're talking about. Let's go back here. I hope people see what is really happening in Xinjiang, although I doubt it. U.S. media is too powerful. I guess something's going on over there.
Well, the only thing that we hear about generally here in the Western media in terms of what's going on in that part of the world is the Taiwan and China, the Taiwan and China kind of stand off in the South China Sea. We hear about that a lot, and trade issues and so forth. But there's a flashpoint there in the South China Sea. But we'll see what happens with that. Something has to reset the madness.
Don't eat any more fish because these guys are just killing these.
Let's go.
Poor dolphins.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for listening. Much love. Shout out to all those in Serbia because they make up 10% of our viewers. And a lot of times we say things that they should leave for, right? Or at least you. But they're still strong. So much love to all you guys. And we will see you very soon. And hopefully it's back in our house.
All right.
All right.
Adios.
See ya.